Megan is with us in Bakersfield, California. Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Okay, so one, I just have like a pretty weird personality, so I might get all crazy here. But we're on the tail end of baby step 2. We only have like $3,600 to pay on one bill.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband is finishing the last of his prerequisites to start nursing school, and we plan on just bankrolling that the whole way through with help from parents, and we don't want to take out loans.
Good.
So I am more of like a future planner. Like, I don't like to think just like, where are we going to be in 5 years? Like, I'm thinking more about the mortgage when my husband graduates, because we'll have a much larger income.
Mm-hmm.
And I have heard a lot about like prepaid interest or prepaid principal,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really understand how that works. Like, I was watching The Pill Method, and then he was talking about taking out loans, and I was like, this guy's a nut. So I just stopped listening to it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I was at, was how do principal payments work?
Yeah, it makes it sound like there's some kind of a magic to it. There's not any magic to it at all. You take the interest rate of your mortgage and you multiply it or divide it by 12, okay? And you multiply that times the outstanding balance that month. That is the interest charged that month. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of your payment goes towards principal. And so let's just make up some easy numbers. Let's say 6% interest rate, which would be let's use 3% interest rate, okay? That's current. That's 0.25%, 0.25 per month. If you divide 3% by 12, okay? You'll get a quarter of a percent per month. And so if you had a $100,000 loan, just to make the numbers real round, just because it's a good lesson to walk through, you'd say 0.025 is your, oops, I did that. It's 0.0025. Still not doing that right. $100,000. I put too many things in the calculator one time. 0.0025. There we go. Okay, there we go. $250. I should be able to do that in my head. All right. Anyway, $250 of your payment that month, if you have a $100,000 balance at 3%, would go towards interest, right?
Okay.
Now, let's say your payment was $350. It wouldn't be. Let's say it's $450, okay?
Okay.
And then, so $250 went to interest. The other $200 would pay the $100,000 down to $99,800. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the next month, your interest is calculated on $98,800 at a quarter. And so instead of being $250, I'm going to make up a number. Let's say it's $247. Okay? But your payment is still $400. But a little bit less went to interest, so a little bit more goes to principal. So instead of paying $200 towards principal the next month, in our example, it might be $203. You follow me?
Okay, so if
every time you pay principal, that makes your next payment, more of it go towards principal, less towards interest.
So if, like, say, for example, I was gifted $1,000 for, I don't know, just being amazing, and we went and put that on the principal.
Yes.
Would that change our payment the next month?
No, your payment stays the same. It changes the amount of interest would go down because you're going to be charged interest on $1,000 less. You're not paying interest on that $1,000 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so it would cause your payment would stay exactly the same, but more of your payment would go towards principal.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't have as high an interest charge because you don't have as high a balance. Your interest is calculated on the balance each month. You pay your interest rate only on what's outstanding. So if you throw $10,000 at a mortgage, you don't pay interest the next month on that $10,000.
Oh.
It saves you the interest on that $10,000. Your payment stays the same, so a lot more of your payment would then go towards principal the following month than it did before. So that's why sometimes people say, "Oh, I don't want to. I've already paid all the interest, so I don't want to pay my mortgage off because I've already paid all the interest up front. No, you didn't. You only pay interest on what's outstanding. And once you've paid on a mortgage for years and years and years and you've paid the principal down, your payment is still the same. Much, much more of your payment goes towards principal after 15 years in a 30-year mortgage than in the 28th year of a 30-year mortgage.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that they should teach in high school because nobody taught me this.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, good news is 36% of the high schools in America now carry a Dave Ramsey high school curriculum called Foundations in Personal Finance. So we've got a little over a third of them, but we got the other 2/3 to go. So, but you're exactly right. That's called a simple interest calculation that I just walked through with you. But that's how a mortgage is calculated. Have you ever seen the tables printed out on a mortgage payment where it shows the columns and it shows your payment and it shows how much is going to interest and how much is going to principal? And if you slide your finger down the page, you're like, wow, a whole lot more after paying 120 payments, paying 10 years, a whole lot more of it's going towards principal than interest. You follow me?
Yeah.
If you've ever seen that. So what happens is, if you want to do this easy without having to do the raw math, if you pay $10,000 on your balance, you just slide your finger down the outstanding balance, and you're on payment number 37 when you did it, then you pay $10,000, then you're going to drop down. It might look more like payment number 61 is going to be your next payment. So you're just knocking out chunks of payments. It's going to be calculated like payment 61, wherever the balance is closest to the new balance after you paid your $10,000 down. So
that's awesome. That really helps a lot. I was super worried about it because I really want to get it paid off within like 10 years after he graduates.
Yeah, that's why throwing money at the mortgage early and often when you get to baby step 6 is so important. But it's also why you don't need to do more than once a month, because they only recalculate once a month. The payments are monthly payments. And so if you send 4 payments in a month, it doesn't change the math at all. Now, they all go towards principal, but you might as well just send one check. And so I've seen these goobs with these supposed systems that they've got and all this BS where you just start sending payments and you want to send one a week. And no, it doesn't work because the calculation is done once a month. It is 1/12 of the annual interest rate per month. It is not a daily or a weekly calculation on mortgages. Now, some credit cards are calculated daily, and some are calculated twice or 3 times or 4 times a month. So they're a little different. But anything is calculated once a month, paying on it more than once a month does not change the math. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's good to talk to you. Thank you for calling in. That's a good question. William is with us. William's in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, William. How are you?
I'm doing good, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Thanks for taking my call, and Rachel, too. My question is, we're looking for guidance on how much we should spend on our next home. We're debt-free, and we've got a paid-off house right now, and I'm saving up for a next and bigger home. And I'm just looking for recommendations on how much we should spend on that as maybe as a percentage of our net worth, or where you're at on guidance, going into that bigger home category.
So you're paying cash for the upgrade?
We're saving cash for the upgrade, but we've got this house we're in now could probably net $350, and we're looking at homes in the $5 to $750 range, and we've got probably another 100 saved up for that one, but we're not to where we can pay cash for the next one yet.
Okay. Are you planning to wait until you do, or you're going to take out a small mortgage and then pay it off?
Well, originally I wanted to wait, and then now we just had our 5th kid here 2 months ago, and we're more than outgrown the house that we're in, and I think we're all ready for something new. And I could save $25,000 to $40,000 per year towards the new one, but it's going to be 8-10 years before I think I could get into having all the cash. So to answer your question, yes, I'd probably go get a loan for.
Yeah. What's your household income?
The gap in between this.
What's your household income?
We're about $150,000.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, the way I would look at it is say, okay, what can I get for the house? How much cash do I have? Putting all those numbers together and then saying, if it's that mortgage payment, I mean, you can go back to that 25% of your take home pay on a 15-year fixed rate. That's kind of our formula for a house in general, but you're putting down a massive, massive down payment, because of everything you're going to have from your current home and what you have saved. So yeah, I would look at those numbers, and then I would run out to a time frame to say, man, we want to be, if we can do this and we can be debt free again in 4 years or whatever it may be, so that you can pay it down quickly. I would factor that timeline in as well, William, and talk to your wife. How many kids do you guys have?
5.
We just had our fifth.
Oh, you just had your 5th. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So, what do you do for a living?
I work in engineering and construction.
Good for you. Okay. And you ask what percentage of your net worth. When you've got a net worth of under $1 million, your house is going to be the larger percentage of your net worth, typically, especially when you work towards a paid-for house. Okay. And so, we had a young couple last hour doing their debt-free scream. Their house is 60% of their 70% of their net worth. They just paid off their house. And so that's not going to be unusual. You wouldn't want that high. The higher your net worth, the smaller the percentage would go to your house. If you have a $100 million net worth, you wouldn't want 60% to your house. That'd be weird. You see what I'm saying? So even a $10 million net worth, you wouldn't. But in your first $1 million of net worth, it's going to be the larger share. It's going to be north of 50% probably. Wouldn't be that unusual. But the good news is the house is going to go up, and you're going to be, once you've gotten that house paid off, you're going to be chunking into retirement. And so by the time you get to $2 million, it'll be 30% or something like that. And so, the natural tendency is going to be your other investments are growing faster than the house because you're adding to those after you get the house paid off. And so, that as far as your net worth question goes, it sounds like everything you're doing is very safe and you're fine. Just put it on as short a term as you possibly can, maximum of 15 years, maximum of 25% of your take-home pay. But I think you're going to be well below the 15-year. You might want to do the full 25% and then even more beyond that. But I'd set the payment up at 25% on as short a term as that will allow, given the price you buy with the down payment you have. And if that means you do an 8-year loan, fine. If it means you do a 6-year loan, fine. That's fine. Put 10-year, put it on that. That's fine. Just put it out there at 25% and then throw extra above that on it. But your actual commitment monthly, don't let that be any higher than 15 or than 25% of your take-home pay. So you're doing good, man. You're doing good. You're thinking about it. You're way ahead. You're not normal. You're already weird. Congratulations. Spencer is with us in Indiana to start off this hour. Hey, Spencer, what's up?
Hey, Dave. I have quite a mess I've made for myself, but me and my wife are working on trying to get out.
Cool.
We're on baby step 2, and I have a whole bunch of student loans. I haven't consolidated them yet, partly because of the way that the repayment is right now. Everything's kind of on forbearance. I've been making the minimum payment despite the forbearance, but my question is this. I have a car loan that's about $30,000, and I have a bunch of student loans. Well, I have some student loans that are less than $30,000, but my payment for my car is about $500, and my payment for each of the student loans are altogether are about $1,000. And normally if I'm following your plan right, I would pay the smallest loans off first. But I'm just wondering if I'll have more money to pay back with if I pay my car off first.
Nope. Works exactly the same math. Math doesn't change.
Okay.
Let's just pretend you're paying $2,000 or $3,000 a month on debt. Okay. And then you're making a car payment, or you're not making a car payment. Either one. you're still going to plow through the total of the debt in exactly the same amount of time. It does not speed it up to get rid of the big payment at all. The only thing that would speed it up is if you got rid of a bigger interest rate, which is not what we teach, but that would actually speed it up. But getting rid of the bigger payment that you're making anyway doesn't change a thing. So what do you guys make a year?
$320.
Well, that's good. What do you do for a living?
I'm a nurse anesthetist.
Ah, and there's the student loans.
So, yeah, what kind of mess did you make?
How much is the student loan debt?
Right now it's at $275.
Attaboy. Jeez. That's a lot. What else? What else?
Well, we have one of our cars is almost paid off. We have about $5,000 left on it, and then our other car is about $30,000.
Okay, that's it. Student loans and cars.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a house, we have a mortgage, and we actually have two houses. One's getting rented out, but then we have our mortgage, but that's the rest of our debt.
What's that house, the rental house worth?
It's worth maybe $200,000.
And what do you owe on it?
About that, it was real. Like I said, it's kind of messy. So
yeah.
I
would go ahead and get that sold. That's not a blessing. That's a curse.
Well, the reason I didn't sell it was because I haven't had it for that long, and I'm worried I'd pay a whole bunch of taxes on it.
You're not going to pay taxes.
You're not going to make any money.
Okay.
If you don't make money on it, you don't pay taxes.
Okay.
And was it a residence?
Yeah, we were in it for just a few months, but it was
How long have you been out of
house.
it? How long have you been out of it?
About 2 months.
Oh, you can sell it with no taxes at all, no matter what your profit is, up to $500,000 married filing jointly. Yeah, you need to get rid of that thing ASAP, brother, because it's a vampire. It is not going to do anything except suck your blood. So you need to be done with that puppy, and and then from there, basically what we're dealing with are the big numbers here. Are we going to pay $150 a year on this and be done in 2 years and have no life?
Yeah.
And that's what I would prescribe.
That was our hope.
That's what I would prescribe. Quit acting like you make a lot of money and instead act like you're a broke person, because, by the way, you're a broke person who actually makes a lot of money. But which is wonderful. Great news is you have a horrible hole that you're in and you have a big old shovel to dig out. So that's wonderful. But, I mean, if you live on $100,000 a year and you put the rest of it towards this debt, you could be done in 2 years.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah. Well, it's not hope. It's math.
Last year I was making 130, I think.
Yeah.
140.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Spencer.
We're praying we can get better.
Spencer.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you 2 questions right in a row, and just answer yes or no.
Okay.
Did you take out $275,000 student loans?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Period. That conversation's over. I can hear you walking around with your head staring at the ground. And you cannot get gazelle intent. A gazelle can't run away with staring at 1 foot in front of it because it's going to trip and fall on its own face. Hold your head up high. You did it. It's over. You own it. And now we're going to be about what comes next.
And now you're a nurse anesthetist, which makes a buttload of money.
A ton of money. You help people be alive.
Yeah, so now go clean up the mess, and in 2 years you'll be done, and you'll look back 5 years from now with a big old pile of money, and you go, God, man, I almost busted it there. Thank God I decided to, lean into this. Yeah, so lean into it with a smile and go, game on, baby.
Be aggressive.
Game
go
on,
get it.
man. Game on. Get it. Get it.
I hope it works.
No, it's not going to get it.
There's no hope.
Smack it down. It's math. It's not I wish. By God, it's math. I mean, you make $320,000. Let's put $150 a year on $275, and in 2 years, it's magically gone. This is how it works. But I don't really care what your nurse anesthetist friends are doing, because they're mathematically stupid. So don't listen to them. Okay, I really don't care if they're buying houses or BMWs or whatever. Sell the stupid house you just moved out of. Get rid of it. It's a problem. It's not a blessing. You can keep the cars just because you make so stinking much money. If you want to keep that $30,000 car, it's okay if you're going to get out of debt in 2 years or less. If you're not going to get out of debt in 2 years or less, you need to sell the $30,000 car. But you need to. You really need to get this done. And you can do it. It's very doable. Now, it's man, I sometimes I talk to people that have $275,000 in debt, and they make 100.
Or they make 65, and I think, whoa.
That's a bigger problem, man. I mean, that's a little bitty shovel in a big old hole. You can't do that. So, the good news is you have the blessing of this income, so you have to dial it in and be game on, committed, you and your wife, and go, we don't make $320,000 a year. We're not going to act like we make $320,000 a year because we have a mess that is bigger than this, and we have to live on nothing, beans and rice and beans. You don't need to see the inside of a restaurant unless you're working there. You don't need to go on vacation. You need to get out of debt, and you can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it. I can see it, and I can't wait to hear your debt-free scream. It's going to be amazing. JJ's in Rockford, Illinois. Hey, JJ, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. It's an honor to speak to you, sir.
You too. How can I help?
Well, sir, I've been married for 20 years, and my wife and I have been separated for 3. And as you say, most of it is all because of money. Most marriages because of money. So this is the 3rd time that my wife and her spending habits have got us greatly into debt. So that's the reason why we've been separated for 3 years. And trying to get it to work out between her and I all boils down to us not being on the same page. Mm-hmm. And at this point, this is where I'm stuck. I was introduced to you 3 weeks ago through a small group at church. Mm-hmm. And as I have watched 30 hours of you on YouTube over the last 3 weeks, there's a lot of stuff that you say that makes sense. I have $1,000 already saved.
Okay.
I in the past have always snowballed my own bills to pay them off. And as I pay my bills off, she hands me a new stack of bills. So this is where I'm at. To divorce or not to divorce? Mm-hmm. And also I want to know a little bit about 401k. I am obviously in debt to my eyeballs. My total debt is approximately $50,000. That is with the house, car, credit cards.
Okay. And what is your income?
My net income is $565 a week.
That's your take-home pay is $2,000.
My take-home pay is I basically take home $29,380 a year.
Okay, so you're making about $38,000. What does she make?
Every time I ask, she says, I don't know. I know she is a gas station manager and a waitress. She works 2 jobs. I work 2 jobs. My second job is a cash job, and I only make a couple $1,000s a year.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would say she probably makes roughly what I make.
Yeah.
She also has $73,400 in student loans with no degree. Mm-hmm. She owes $5,000 on a car. She lives in her own place. We're separated, so she lives in her own place. She pays $600 a month in rent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you guys seeing a marriage counselor?
We've seen one about 10 years ago. And
no, that wasn't what I asked. I asked if you are seeing a marriage counselor.
Not currently.
Okay, so why is there hope that the two of you are going to work this out if you're standing over here throwing rocks at her, and that is your plan right now for getting back together?
Well, I never really looked at it as I was throwing rocks.
You just did for the last 5 minutes. I'm not sure she didn't need rocks thrown at her, but you've been throwing them at her for the last 5 minutes while we're talking.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, there's no meeting of the minds. There's no reconciliation. There's no game plan where we get on the same page unless you've got some help doing that. I mean, you've been separated for 3 years. You guys need to start working at saving this thing or call it.
Okay, marriage counselor, writing that down first. Number
one, call your pastor. Say, Pastor, we need to sit down. And if she will sit down with you, then the two of you start working towards having a game plan together. Now, the way that a healthy quality marriage works around the money issue is there is no yours and mine. It's all ours. When you got married, the preacher said, and now you are one. He didn't pronounce you a joint venture. And so she's going to put all of her income in the middle of the table. You're going to put all of your income in the middle of the table. She's going to put all of her debt in the middle of the table. You're going to put all of your debt in the middle of the table. And for rich or for poor, in sickness and in health, until death do us part, we're going to use that pile of income to attack that set of debts. And we're both going to be adults and talk about every single thing that happens with money before it leaves on paper. That's called a budget that we both agreed to. And then we both agree to stick to it. That's how a quality marriage with cooperation and communication deals with the issues you put in front of me. And that's what good marriage counseling will lead you guys into doing. So I think she's misbehaving. I agree with you. But I think you guys are not working towards putting everything on the same page. And if you're not going to do that, then you're not married anymore. I mean, you just you talk that through with your pastor, But you need to sit down with a good marriage counselor and say, hey, how can we get on the same page, aiming at the same thing? It's not you telling her what to do. It's we're going to put it all in the middle of the table, and the two of us together are going to grab hands, and we're going to decide how we're going to handle every one of these dollars this month and next month and next month, and what are our goals and how are we going to hit them.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I am just starting the new year off the right way with trying to get out of debt. I'm following the baby steps. I just don't have a lot of accountability, and I need direction. And I really wanted to make a big deal about this, so I wanted to call the show and get some professional advice from people that I trust.
Well, I've got good news for you because I'm sitting next to the budget queen, not the dancing queen.
Budget queen.
There it is. Do your thing. I think this man needs to know how to figure out a budget.
First off, Christian, I love that you're understanding the importance of accountability to the point where you're like, I'm going to call on the show. People are going to hear it. I post about it on social media. I actually really like that. Some people kind of like to do their goals in the quiet and in secret. And listen, I'm no psychologist. I don't know, but I have a feeling around that. I think that when people do their goals quietly, it's because they're afraid that if they don't accomplish them or if they fail, no one has to know, right?
That's right.
And so I love the accountability of you saying, no, I'm putting it out there. So my question is, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? And what is the thing that you're worried about being a roadblock for you accomplishing it?
Well, I've never really been good at my finances in the past, keeping a budget, keeping up like a record of my finances. Mm-hmm. And I'm about $90,000 in debt. It's 35,000 is an auto, and the rest of it is credit card.
Okay.
I work part-time, seasonal on a farm in Oregon. Mm-hmm. I don't make very much, but I'm very fortunate and blessed to have a trust that I get money from every month. But I've been very irresponsible. It's $7,000 now.
So you get $7,000 a month from the trust, and then you're working part-time on a farm. What do you make from your part-time work?
When I am working, which I'm off season right now, but usually about $2,000 a month.
Okay.
And I work part-time because I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I watch her half the week. I have her 3.5 days.
Okay.
Do you have any support around you that could help with her?
So her mother watches her the rest of the time, and she is a big support in my daughter and everything.
I know, but I'm talking about you're a daddy now, and I'm jumping in here because I don't like what I'm hearing, and I'm not like criticizing you, but you need to be working full time, even when it's your turn. Your custody side of things, that means you see her after you come home from work. That means someone is helping you, or you are paying for them to help you because you need to be making more money in this off season.
Yeah. Is the trust for life?
Yes.
Okay. I have a question. You told me earlier that you've never been good at like managing your money or sticking to a budget. Do you know why? Why is that? What do you do instead?
Well, I was never really taught that, and I am when I get around math or numbers, I choke up. I didn't get very far in math in school.
Okay.
And it's a very uncomfortable subject for me.
Is it also fair to say? Is it also fair to say that you haven't needed to budget?
Yeah.
No. Well, what do you mean by that?
Meaning you've never had to worry about not having enough money. So therefore, there was never a need to watch where this dollar was going and where that dollar was going.
Yeah, because $7,000 a month is, you can live on that.
$7,000 a month is a good chunk.
No, I haven't had that. I only got, it hasn't been that long since I've had that.
Okay, gotcha.
And it hasn't always been 7,000. I started getting it in 2008, and it started off at 2,000.
Got you.
Which is why, by the way, Jade, I want him working, even though this is a nice blessing. I still want him working.
Yeah. So let's get into this a little bit. I totally buy it. None of us were taught this in college. None of us were taught it in high school. Few of us were taught it in our own homes. So it's very, very important. And I'm also with you on the math. Despite popular belief, I actually hate doing math, and I'm not very good at it. I made C's in it in high school and college. So there we go. The good news for you is that we solve those problems here for you with Every Dollar. So before you get off the call, I want you to have the Every Dollar app. It's a budgeting app, and it's going to help you do the things that you said you struggled with, which is making a plan for your money, sticking to the plan with your money, and doing the math on your money. It does all of that for you. The only thing that you have to do, Christian, is the only commitment you have to make is to make the thing, right? Plug your numbers in, and just to take Atomic Habits, habit stack it with something else you do, right? So if you have a habit in the morning of you wake up, you make your morning coffee and you read the news on your phone, right? You just add, and after I read the news on my phone or before I read the news on my phone, I track my transactions in Every Dollar. That's it. If you can start that habit this year, you're going to see things with your money begin to turn around. Because for most of us, we're just not, it's not part of our day-to-day rhythm. And so we're not seeing the fact that we're overspending on food, or we're not seeing the fact that we're overspending and accidentally spending the money for something more important on something less important, right? And so for you, I think getting that habit into your life is going to be really important. So that's numero uno. The next thing I want to talk about is this car. So you said you've got a $35,000 car. And then you've got another $55,000 or $60,000 in credit card debt. So I kind of want to tackle the car. What's it worth?
I think it's probably worth a little bit less than 35. I haven't actually looked it up. I don't know those numbers.
Okay, then that would be my second piece of homework. Number one is Every Dollar. Number two, I'm looking to see if this thing, if there's a break even here, or if it's a very short amount of upside downness, I'm gonna take that bet, and I'm going to probably get out of this car, because what are you paying every month for it?
$700.
Hey, my guy. Let's get that money back into your wallet. That's a lot of money for somebody who's in $90,000 of debt. So if I were you, I would get out of that vehicle. I'd buy something far less expensive in cash. And yeah, that's what I would do.
That's almost half of that debt. Not quite, but almost.
Yeah, you're clearing out a big portion of it. And then with these credit cards, don't consolidate them. Don't, do a shuffle game. Just list them smallest to largest and pay them off one by one. Ken, what's he going to do with the career, real quick?
I don't know. We didn't have enough time to get into that. What do you want to do? If money wasn't an object, say it. Go.
If money wasn't an object, something to do with plants. I work on a veggie farm. I moved to Oregon so I could do permaculture design, which has a lot to do with, plants.
So here's what we're going to do.
Animals.
Hang on the line. Kelly, let's get him a copy of Find the Work You're Wired to Do. It's a best-selling book with an assessment. It'll help. This is The Ramsey Show.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. All right, I'm talking with Eileen in Kansas City, and she is a retired widow. You said again you're 74, is that right?
Correct.
And you have $650,000 invested, and you have a home that's worth about $275,000, and the $650,000 is currently paying you $1,700 per month.
After taxes.
Okay. Now, let's do some basic. Let's just stop.
And my social is about $23.25 a month.
Okay.
So my Social Security. So okay. I'm getting about $48,300, and that's plenty to live on. But I don't have the cash for the big items that I can see coming up, such as the house will need to be painted. I'm thinking around $8,000. I have about 10 windows that are original to the house that need to be replaced. I'd like to travel. And my car is a 2002.
And the $650,000, you said some of it is in an annuity?
It is. Half of it is in an annuity, and half of it is in an IRA managed funds with Fidelity. Everything's with Fidelity.
Okay. Do you have an advisor?
I do.
Okay. And why has your advisor not done, well, let's just kind of walk through this for a second, okay? If this money were invested the way I would have it invested if I were in your shoes, I don't do investing for other people, okay? I just teach. But were it invested in a series of good growth stock mutual funds, I'm 57. Mine's invested 1/4 each in growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. At 74, if you wanted to be a little more conservative, you could substitute the aggressive growth for a balance. But either way, you should be earning north of 10% on that money. 10% of $650,000 is $65,000 a year. You're currently pulling $18,000. You're getting hosed.
Correct. Wow.
Okay. And if you had 60,
what do I do?
Yeah, if you had $5,000 a month coming in instead of $1,700, a lot of the things you just asked me about would be solved just out of your monthly budget. Am I right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So if you're $650,
well, the way they've got it set up, the money should last me until I'm in my 90s before I run out of money.
That sucks too. Okay, and here's why: if $650,000 is making 10%. That's $65,000, right?
Yes.
Did we touch the $650,000? No. You should be getting $65,000 off of this, and the money lasts forever. You follow me?
Well, I'm not making 10%.
I know. I can tell. And they got this. I'm thinking this annuity must be sitting in a stupid fixed annuity, and you're probably making CD rates on half of your investment portfolio, which is ludicrous. I mean,
it's going to be, this October will be, I believe, 5 years, and I can take that money out without any penalties.
That's exactly right, and you're going to. And you're probably going to leave this investment advisor. You need to get somebody that teaches you and shows you what to do. You're smart enough to make these decisions by yourself with some guidance, and that's what an advisor does. They don't do it for you. They don't tell you what to do. They make suggestions and teach you, and you decide what to do. Now, if I were in your shoes, I would start shopping and learning about how I can invest this money so that I have a better monthly income that does not destroy the goose that's laying the golden eggs. The goose is the $650,000. We don't want to touch that, but I want the income that it's producing to be a lot larger without ever touching that, and without it absolutely being destroyed by the time you're 90. That's just crazy land.
Okay.
So here's what I want you to do.
I just don't know where to find an advisor that's going to help me, that I can trust.
Number one, you're going to trust them only to do one thing, and that's teach you. So the person I trust with your money is you. I don't want you to hire a babysitter, a full-time nanny for your money. I want you to hire somebody to teach you, and then together, based on their guidance and you understanding what you're going to do, not because Dave Ramsey said or not because an advisor said, but you're going to make the decision because this money was given to you to manage by God, and you're going to make that decision. So the way we put together, we have a network of investment advisors that we recommend. They do not work for me, but I endorse them, and the way we choose them is that they, number one, have to have that heart of a teacher because I want you to learn. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because you already know pretty good what you got. I can tell.
Well, I know what I have. My husband, who passed away about 6.5 years ago, was the one that took care of our investments.
Yeah, and he
did invest the money himself and manage it. I don't know enough about the stock market. I mean, I know you have to diversify. I understand all that. But right now, I'm paying for advisory fees.
Okay, I don't mind paying for advisory. Yeah, I don't mind paying for advisory fees. But here's what I think happened. Okay, I think when he passed away, you guys just kept doing whatever was being done before, and you never questioned. It's kind of been on autopilot. And your call to me because you can't even paint your house and you're a millionaire. You can't even go on a trip. You can't even go on a trip and you're a millionaire. And so your call to me is autopilot ain't working. It's time to take the wheel again. You've seen all these autopilot cars are crashing, hadn't you? Yeah, we need to drive our own car. That's what we need to do. And I'm not shaming you. I think you're a very bright lady. So here's what you need to do. Go to DaveRamsey.com, click on Smart Vestor. You'll put in a little bit of information. It'll drop down a list of the Smart Vestor pros in your area. And Eileen, let me just tell you, you have a good BS detector. And if you sit down any time with anyone, including if Dave Ramsey endorses them, and you feel like you need to take a shower after you meet with them, then you need a different person. Don't be slimed, okay? Sit down with them and get a good feeling, a sense of trust, but not blind trust. Do they have the heart of a teacher? Do you leave the meeting understanding things that you didn't understand before the meeting? That's called I learned, which means you were in the presence of a teacher. If you don't learn something every time you meet with your investment advisor, something's wrong. You should learn something that you didn't know before. Their job is to teach you to make your own decisions. That's their job. They're an advisor. That's what that means. They give advice. And so click on SmartVestor, and it'll drop down a list of them. Meet with more than one if you want. Take your time. There's nothing on fire here. But, darling, you are not broke. And you shouldn't be living like you're broke. I'm not trying to get you to be a spendthrift and blow all your money, but you need to be enjoying your life a little bit. You guys worked really, really hard all your lives, you and your husband, to get to this point, and he had you set up to be taken care of, and they're starving you to death per month right here. You're getting hosed. So go get some other advice and learn. And I'm going to move some of this money around if I'm you. And I'm going to invest it a little differently so that it's giving me a better rate of return so I can live off of the returns without destroying the principal. Now, what I gave you was an example. I'm not saying you get 10% off of this. But my point was to do some easy math here on the radio and give you an example of what you could do and why you're way off receiving only $18,000 a year of income off of $650,000. Wow. Ouch. Sierra starts us off this hour in Tacoma, Washington. Hi, Sierra. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How about yourself?
Just the same. How can we help?
Well, I've got a question. So my boyfriend is having a lot of money troubles, and his family is going through bankruptcy right now. And I'm wondering how I can help.
Does he live at home?
Yes.
Okay.
He's 17.
17 years old. And obviously you guys are just dating, and so I don't want you to help him financially. Are you saying more emotionally? How do you help right now?
I don't know. I want to do something.
Well, they're already they're going through the bankruptcy process as we speak.
Yeah.
How old are you, Sierra?
16.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the only way you can actually help in this situation with both of you being minors and not being married is just love and support, emotional support. It's not your responsibility or your place, and it would be inappropriate for you to put money into this scenario. So you would just care about him, care about his mom and dad. They're scared. He's scared. There's a lot of uncertainty around this, even if they're acting like they're not scared. I've been through bankruptcy. It's scary. And so you can just support him. Let me kind of give you a metaphor to think about, all right? How would you help him if his mom was going through chemo with cancer?
I'd be there for him.
Exactly. You really can't help his mom. The doctors have to do that. Whether she makes it or not is not up to you. It's up to God and the doctors. In my metaphor that I just made up here, my storyline that I just made up, obviously that's not happening, or at least I hope it's not. Be a horrible choice of metaphors if it was, but so I think it's something similar. The difference with the money thing is it feels like there's something we're supposed to do to like buy food or something like that, and that's not necessary. In bankruptcy, are his mom and dad working? Do they have jobs?
Yes.
Okay, then they have money for food, even in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Okay, and they have money for lights and water. And depending on the type of bankruptcy and what's going on with the house, there's a strong possibility they'll be staying in the house.
Yeah.
So we got food, shelter, clothing, transportation, utilities. So the basic necessities of life are there, but it's just they've obviously made some mistakes with their money, and now they've got a lot of pain because of it. And so if you can just do that, if you treat it like his mom's got cancer, what would you do? You just be there for him emotionally, because he can't fix his parents' situation, and neither can you.
Yeah, and he's actually having a hard time, too, because his vehicle is not working, and he's trying to get it fixed so he can come to work.
Okay. And what does he do when he's at work? What kind of job?
Well, he actually works for my dad. He does. We do farm work.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. What's wrong with this car?
Let's see. Something in the transmission broke, but it's right in the middle of the transmission, so you have to take it all apart to try to fix what it is.
Any of the guys on the farm able to help with that?
Well, it's just me and my dad and my sister and my mom. We don't really know how to do cars a whole lot.
Okay.
Is his income intact still? Your boyfriend?
No.
What does he make when he works at the farm?
Let's see. Works 2 days a week, so he gets about $1,000 a month.
Okay.
Is he in school right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we're both homeschooled, so.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good news. All right. Well, I think he's probably going to scrape together a little bit of money, and if your dad, as his employer, wants to help him out a little bit with getting his transmission fixed and let him work that off, that wouldn't be a bad thing. I would do that possibly for one of my employees here, or I might even give them a gift to help them get through a rough patch by buying them a used transmission or something like that. I've done that kind of thing as an employer. I don't know if your dad's in a position to do that. You're not. You're 16. You don't give him money, period.
Okay.
If that's my opinion, and you asked, okay? And I think you've got a big heart, and I think you are mature beyond your years. You carried yourself well on a radio show here, calling in with millions of people listening at 16 years old. You're an impressive young woman.
Yeah. And on top of that, Sierra, it sounds like he needs encouragement right now because he feels like his parents' mistakes are his mistakes and that their lives are going to become his life. And so the best thing you can do is remind him that it doesn't have to be that way. And as you guys progress in your relationship, if this is a long-term thing or you guys end up getting married, you can change that cycle. You can change that family tree. It is possible. And the fact that you're calling in gives me a lot of hope that you have a heart to want to change this. So you're doing great. Be there for him, but know that you can't change their situation.
Yeah, and if your dad, again, wants to step in and help him with getting the car fixed or getting a beater car or got an old pickup on the farm that you can get started and let him drive it until he can get his car fixed or some way like that to give him a little direct help on the car situation only, that's fine. But that's your dad's call, it's not requirement. It would be an act of generosity on your dad, an optional act on your dad's part. But George is exactly right. I think you remind him that, every one of us that have parented or that have parents, and most of us have parents, have the idea that we can make better decisions than they did in the next generation. And that, thank goodness, is true. Thank goodness. You have the option of making better decisions than your parents did. And that's a universal human thing, that we all have that ability. So I think you're going to be great. I appreciate your heart and appreciate you checking in. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I want to know, how can I go on in the ways I can trust my husband after he had moved all our savings without telling me. I discovered it, and he keeps on making financial decisions without telling me or asking me.
Where did he take your savings?
Well, he moved it to another account, and part of it that has higher interest, and some of it went into some investments. But that's not a concern because we kind of talked about it, but it's just not the only, in the last 2 years, not the only time that he did things and I discovered it. And
well, I guess there's two things here. One is you can't, you're asking yourself to do something, you're asking yourself to find trust within yourself, and the person you're trying to trust continues to violate the trust. And so if you want to reestablish trust, then you have to put down on the table, lay it out there. Here's what must be true for me to trust you again. And we're gonna have to practice, and we're gonna have to go step by step to reestablish trust. And then the other person has to participate.
Yeah. So relationally, I know what to ask of him. I know first you do this, this, and this, and then we can work together and I'll.
So would it make you feel
after these steps?
Would it make you
financially, I don't know what to ask of him because I thought we had a joint bank account, and it turns out probably I don't know what a joint bank account is, and what should I ask of him to be sure that money doesn't disappear all of a sudden, that I have some.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have a spreadsheet that has every account on it and what every password for every account is. And you should both be sitting down with an investment professional, a SmartVestor Pro, as we call them here, and they're walking both of you through your retirement accounts and how much money you have in those accounts. And you should know how much cash y'all have.
Yeah.
I mean, all this stuff you should know.
Susie, what does he say his reasoning is for doing this without telling you? When you find out and you say, oh my gosh, you moved the money, what does he say?
He couldn't explain it, actually. He started saying, well, because you, and I'm I stopped, my mind shut off. I stopped even listening because, what do you mean? Because you did it, you didn't, he's, saying, well, he's trying to put the guilt on me somehow. Okay. Well, the worst thing is that for 15 years, money wasn't something that we ever had fights or about.
Did you ever talk about it in those 15 years?
Page.
And you saw everything, you had access to everything, and you knew where everything was for 15 years.
Yeah, and
there was no
fights. Always
fights.
Say we would discuss it, or sometimes he'll say, I want to do this. or I did this, and I'm like, okay, so he always said what's going on, and then he just.
Is he in trouble? Is he making?
Yeah.
Is he struggling with gambling, or is he seeing somebody else? Like, where's this money going?
I want to say that it's not going. I don't think he has problems with gambling, I don't know actually what's going on, because this is like the last 2 years there's been a series of betrayals.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what you need to do. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so there's been other betrayals, Susie, in your marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On his
I know,
his
like,
end or your end?
Relationally, what to ask, but then how do I make myself financially?
Have you caught
safe?
him having an affair?
He was in
Okay.
an emotional affair with somebody.
Okay. My guess is if there's missing money or suddenly money's getting moved around all over the place, that if you went in and did a forensic deep dive into that, and forensics just means you went line by line to see what stuff's being spent, you're going to find stuff spent on flowers and hotel rooms and things like that. It's just very rare for things to just be bebopping along for 15 years. Everybody's on the same page, and then suddenly all the money gets moved and you don't know where it is. Some of it's getting spread out, all that kind of stuff. If I'm you, or if you're my sister, or you or my mom, I would tell you, pull your credit report today to find out what loans have been taken out with your Social Security number. I would freeze my credit, and then I would tell my husband, we're going to have a meeting with every single account, every dollar amount. I want to know what is in all of our retirement accounts. I want to know what's in all of our savings account, what's in our checking account, and an accounting for where all the cash actually is.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a sheet. And by the way, it's not hard to do. I've got one. My wife has one. And Rachel, it's pretty common that somebody just instantly gets into a mess. And I see it more and more with online gambling over the last few years.
Yes. Well, usually when there's shuffling around like this, and then suddenly there was transparency, now there's not transparency. There's a red flag. Something else is going on.
That's the biggest waving on top of a mountain red flag there is.
Yeah.
So sorry, Susie.
Yeah, and I would say even from a relational standpoint, I don't feel like you guys have probably fully healed from that, obviously, because even the way he's speaking to you or what you told us, he's shifting the blame.
The gaslights are burning brightly.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like it is pretty wild. So yeah, I would be, it is so difficult because if it's not under your name, he could have a secret account that you never know about either. So
that's right.
So there is a level of his transparency that he has to come forward as well. But you can pull things in your name if you know the banks you guys are banking at together, whatever name account or whatever account is in your name, you will have access to. You will be able to see it. And then asking him to do the same, because I'll be curious as you do your digging on the side and he brings information. If his doesn't line up with what you even found,
right.
Then there's another distrust there. But this is Susie. Usually with these types of situations, we always say around here, and it is true. It's at this point, it's not a money thing. It's a marriage issue.
Yeah, big time.
Because of the marriage issues, it's coming out as this money issue, and so. I mean, you guys have a road of healing. I mean, you really do. And if you guys want to,
well, you got a road of fact finding for the time being.
That's fair. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because you're not getting the full story.
Yeah. And that's really, really difficult and always scary. I'm like, it is the betrayal that's always so difficult. Yeah. So difficult. So, I'm sorry, Susie. Thanks for the call. I hope that helps, and I hope it does give you some empowerment to go and to look. And I think for some, I'll say women who do allow the husbands just to basically do majority of everything when it comes to the money, this is one of the issues that we find because you do feel overwhelmed of like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start.
Right.
Like, I don't even know what to look for or what to ask, because you were saying that, Susie. I don't even know what to ask from a financial situation. So again, just to repeat and help you in this, I mean, it is asking checking accounts, it's asking savings accounts, high yield accounts, money market accounts, investments, retirement accounts.
Any outstanding debts?
Any debts that are there, yes. And what John said too, pulling your credit report and seeing if any debts have been taken out. But those are kind of the categories to walk through to ask him, and then for you to go in this investigative mode.
Yeah, and let me flip it on its head to the men out there. You are not helping your wife have any sort of peace in her life by saying, I've got it. I've got it.
Right.
At some regular interval, whether it's every month or every quarter, twice a year, once a year, sit down and say, and of course, there's somebody who pushes the button and pays the bills, or somebody who moves the money. I get that. Have some sort of, hey, just so we're all on the same page, here's where everything is, and here's where we are. That brings so much peace to your house, and it keeps these nightmares from happening.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Jessica is in Michigan. Hi, Jessica. What's up?
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I am 37 years old, and I'm a single mom of two. And my question is how do I get the momentum to? I'm on baby step number 1. I am about $17,000 in debt between student loans. My car's completely paid off, but I'm just trying to get momentum into getting that cash saved up for baby step number 1, because I always try to validate my purchases, and I'm just trying to find a way to get the momentum to stop validating these
what's your
purchases. Income? Right now, I make about a little over $38 a year.
Okay. All right.
What has caused you to want to do this plan in the first place?
I have been listening to Dave Ramsey off and on for about about 11 years. But I've really jumped into it more in the last couple of months, wanting to change my family tree. I come from a family where we've all not been so great with money, and my dad actually died.
I'll tell you how I did it, Jessica, as a fellow spender.
Yeah.
I looked at my kids. They were babies, and we were broke because of my stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And every time I got ready to spend, I would ask myself, if I had to not spend this money so that I had the money to save the life of my child, could I do it? Could I find the discipline? And that was an easy answer, of course. And so I did stuff like I would practice going to Costco and buying nothing and walking out. And that was like a breakthrough for me. Because I truly thought that if you went to Sam's or Costco, that they check your receipt on the way out, that it was federal law that you had to spend $200 or you couldn't get out. They wouldn't let you out. That's why they check it. And I was that guy. And so I kind of had to equate it with the life of my children, which is a bit melodramatic, but it's also kind of true, because you want to change your family tree, you said.
Yeah. What does 40-year-old Jessica want to look back on and say, man, I'm so glad Jessica made those decisions? And if that means, taking away your debit card information from every website that you have, hiding it, having accountability with a friend, do whatever it takes.
I would think if you've got a spending problem that Amazon Prime's not even a possibility.
I'm cutting that out of my life.
You got to turn it off. If you got a spending problem, if you're trying to say, no, I'm not going to spend. Because, that's just so easy. It's easy for me, and I teach this stuff for a living. So you just got to equate it with a big why. And you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then gradually you'll reform your character.
We'll start off with Myra in Lubbock, Texas. Myra, welcome to the show.
Hello, Rachel. Hello, Dave. I love your show, by the way, Rachel.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Quick backstory before my question is I started working part-time at a advisor's office, and it's been great. The person that was full-time was off for medical leave, and she got better, and now she's doing part-time. And so we're working together and things like that. But prior to that, there was other people helping in the office that were just interns. And so from the beginning, I was having to pick up from where they left off to what they knew, and because she had to leave unexpectedly to do her medical leave. And so point is, I just picked up where everybody left off, and I was doing my best, trying my best and things like that. But now that she's come back, it's been very difficult because she could be very aggressive with her words, and she doesn't use the tone of voice that she uses with me. She changes her tone of voice when the financial advisor is not around, and she said things to me in the past like, I'm the full-time, don't touch my things on my desk. And it's just little petty things, like I don't want your lotion on my desk. Don't move my paper clips and things like that. And my question is, how do I go on if I feel that it takes so much energy? Because when I'm in the office, I'm always trying to not do something that's going to tick her off, or she's going to be passive aggressive again, or she's going to be rude to me.
Yeah.
There's occasions when we work together.
Sure.
And it's just so draining.
Sure, absolutely. So Myra, why did she leave in the first place? What you said, medical leave?
Yeah, so her cancer came back, and thankfully she was able to take care of it. And now her doctor is asking her to not be full time so that she can, slowly back into it.
Yeah.
She is older, and she has like no filter and things like that, which I'm young and I am not as good as I wish I was.
Myra, have you confronted her at all? Have you sat down and confronts? That's kind of a strong word, but have you asked questions to her of, hey, do you realize kind of how you're coming off? Is everything okay? How are you doing? Because we find here, at Ramsey, we have almost 1,200 team members. So working on interpersonal relationship is something I feel like we do on a daily basis. And usually you find that people who are hurting can tend to hurt people, right? That saying, hurt people, hurt people. So there's a part of me thinks that there's probably a level of her that's stressed, freaked out, fearful of her own story and kind of what's going on. And it's coming out on you, which is not okay. But have you talked to her about it at all?
I have not said it the way you said it. And I think the way you're asking me to approach it makes sense. I have talked to the FA and I have told him the situation, and he's told me, she's really hard to work with, and other people have told me, just she's a little territorial and things like that. And so it never gave me the impression that she was acting this way because of the current situation. It's giving me more the impression that that's just the way she is. And
this lady, Myra, this lady's scared. And she's been scared a long time. And all this crap is to cover over her fear. She's afraid for her job. She's afraid for her health. She sees you as a threat. And so the good news is you're just a sweet lady. And I think if you'll just look at her as someone who's scared, kind of put a little different picture when you see her instead of the big old mean lady that's rough and tough and hard to work with. Instead, look at her as a little child who's afraid. And how would you treat someone that was afraid? With pity and with kindness, and you'd help them, and how can I serve you? What can I do for you? And she'll calm down eventually. And if she doesn't, it's just a part-time job. Go get another one. It's not worth working with jerks. That's the other thing. So, leave. It ain't that big a deal. But in other words, don't let yourself be subjected to a toxic situation because you refuse to walk out the door on a part-time job. So just say, sayonara, out of here, baby. Done. But if you want to try to work on the personal idea of it, which is why you called, I think you just treat her with unbelievable levels of kindness. And just because I'll guarantee you this lady's really afraid. She's afraid for her job. She thinks they're going to kick her out because she was hard to work with before, and then she had a cancer problem, so she's unreliable. And, she's afraid they're going to put her on the street, and you're going to take her job if you look too good. So how can I help you? You've been through so much. Man, I just want to support you. You're kind of a legend around here because she is.
Legend maybe not the way you want to be a legend, but she's kind of a legend.
It's a true statement nonetheless.
But I wonder too, even after, how the workplace has changed so much since COVID, dealing with people now via technology, there's not that in-person connection as much anymore within companies. Obviously, Myra, it sounds like it is for you. But you talk about this a lot in Entree Leadership, though, of how to deal with these situations, that it's not going around, obviously, and talking and bashing her to other people. So the fact you went up, Myra, was good to your leader, I think was a smart move. But also to have the ability to sit down with someone that you work with, especially if it's for a long period of time, you guys have history, and it sounds like you guys are pretty hand in hand with what you do. Getting that, it is key because it's exhausting. Like if you go to work and you don't like the person you're with all the time, that's a reason to dread work. So it's a reason to even think about.
I would give it a couple of weeks of just killing her with kindness, and if you can't get anywhere, and if you continue to have just an abusive situation, I would just go leave. Just go get another job. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you talk to leadership, and their answer was a lame-o, horrible answer from leadership. Well, she's always kind of been that way, which means we're scared of her, too. Oh, my God. You know? So we don't have anybody like that I answer that about. You know, you get to work somewhere else if you're going to be a bud around here. Because we don't do that. But, I mean, you can have a bad day, you can have a bad week, but you don't get to just have the reputation of being
hard to work with.
The grouch. That's silly. You ever get in a room full of stupid people? Like, you know, you're at Thanksgiving dinner and your relatives are all saying something that's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, really stupid. Or you're with some people at a party and you realize you're at the wrong party and some of these people are just saying moronic things. And you realize there's not anything to say, because if you say something to them, it's not going to do any good, because they've already made up their mind to live neck deep in the stupidity. You know what I'm talking about. So I got a friend of mine who says when he gets in one of those situations with a group of his relatives, he just says, like his in-laws, right? He just says, I just assume the bobblehead doll. I just sit there and nod and smile and nod and smile and nod and smile. Like, you know, those bobblehead dolls, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And he said, there's no sense in arguing with them, so you might as well bobblehead doll. So I do not have the sound on because I'm doing a radio show. But we keep several of the news feeds running in here in case something breaks, and because I'm ADD and it gives me something else to look at while I'm doing the show. So I'm watching one of these news feeds of this Senate confirmation of the Supreme Court justice, right? And you can tell that a bunch of these politicians are just, they need to be seen, they need to be heard, they need to make their ridiculous statement, and they're reading off these horrid, you know, just stupid crap. These people. And the poor guy, I mean, whether you agree with him or not, he is holding his composure. Whether you like all this stuff or not, he's just sitting, he's pretty much bobblehead dolling his way through the stupid senators that are parading in front of him. I mean, it's just, bless his heart. I just thought, there's a bobblehead. And he really has composure, because I probably would just go all hillbilly on the morons. But he's just sitting there nodding his head going, you people are idiots. And he's just going to nod his head all the way. Yeah, he's really got composure. So maybe that's what it takes to be a Supreme Court justice, because they wouldn't let me be one. I'd start a war or something. But I'm not sure that the Supreme Court has the ability to do that. But if I was there, we could figure it out. So, man, I don't have the composure to put up with those idiots in Washington. They called me up to testify on something they were doing up there, and I said, you don't really want my opinion. You just want to say I was here. You just want to say, Dave Ramsey said so-and-so about money. That's all you want. You don't really want to know what I think, because you already know what I think, and none of you people are going to do it. Like, control your freaking spending. You know, it's not going to happen. So I would be up there bobblehead dolling, and I'm not very good at that. So bless this guy's heart. I'm going to have to turn this off. It's distracting.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Karina is with us in Montgomery. Hi, Karina. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I have an income problem. I was working at a prestigious law firm where I temped for 3 years. I was brought in to work on BP oil spill claims, and when that project wrapped up, I was out of a job. Now, every time I apply for a job or I go on an interview, folks see that I worked for this prestigious law firm. I'm not there anymore, so there must be something wrong with me. While I was there, I got PTO, I got bonuses. When the project ended, I was given notice, and I was also given severance. I can't find a job to save my life.
What do you do?
I'm a paralegal.
Oh, okay.
I have a BS in legal studies with a paralegal certification.
Gotcha. And you've talked to all the law firms in Montgomery?
Not every single one. but close. I was told by an attorney friend, one, that I'm going to die with my school loans, and the best thing I can do is walk away from my mortgage. I was told by another one just last week that the problem is that there are so many schools in this area turning out attorneys that the attorneys are taking paralegal jobs. And he even introduced me to his own assistant, who is an attorney who's passed the bar, and he's paying him $10 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find a job. I tried pizza delivery. That did not work out.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried.
How old are you?
57.
57.
I tried Uber.
Mm-hmm.
My beater is more than 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I've cycled through unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to get food stamps. I have no income.
Mm-hmm. And you're single?
I'm single.
Okay. All right.
No kids. I'm an empty nester. It's just me. My mortgage is $550, and I can't pay my mortgage.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know what to do.
All right. Well, it is scary. I don't blame you for being scared. I understand. I don't know how to address the paralegal part of this equation. I'll
do anything. Really? Okay.
Oh, I know. I got that. I'm hearing where you are. You're desperate. And you start anywhere and go from there, right?
Yes.
So I always go back to really primitive stuff. Like you said, you're delivering pizzas or Uber or whatever, but you're driving a beater and that kind of thing. I mean, I go back to, people make $25 an hour cleaning houses, and you can clean a house. And you just got to find somebody to let you do it, and then find 2 more to let you do it, and then 3 more to let you do it. And if you show up on time and you're honest and don't steal their stuff, and you clean their house and you're good at cleaning and you're a pleasant person, don't stand around and talk all day, you get your work done, then you're going to get a bunch of houses clean. But that's not ultimately our long-term goal, but at least that would get the wolf away from the door, maybe. I'm just dreaming up something here off the top of my head to try to get you something to do for a little bit of money.
I offered to work for free for my attorney just so I could get the type of experience that attorneys seem to want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't need anybody, not even for free.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. I mean, I get that this one guy hired an attorney for $10 an hour who was desperate. I got that. It could be that there's no market for paralegals. I will tell you in general that the economy, the unemployment rate is the lowest it's ever been in recent memory. In general, the economy is white hot. I mean, like, for instance, in our area in Nashville, just a few hours north of you, we have a labor shortage here in terms of finding people to work. There's employment signs on every door when you walk up to a restaurant or a retail situation or anything like that. And so I'm kind of shocked that Montgomery is dead. I don't think it is. So it might be. I mean, you maybe need to move cities. I don't know. But
I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, if you could find something going on. So, I mean, have you seen paralegal hirings in other markets?
I've seen more ads for Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. I'll go anywhere.
Yeah,
really.
That makes sense. What's your house worth?
It might be worth 40, 45.
Mm-hmm.
My neighborhood.
What do you owe on it?
Gone 50.
How much do you owe on it?
I owe 50 on it.
Oh, you owe more on it than it's worth.
Yes. I've been in this house for 15 years. Our neighborhood has gone Section 8,
mm-hmm.
and there are shootings here regularly. Nobody wants to be here.
Okay. Well, that may be why you were getting the advice to walk away from the mortgage. But for $500 a month, you had a place to live for today.
Yes.
Are you a member of a good local church?
Yes.
Okay. Go sit down with your pastor and ask him if he knows business people in the congregation that are hiring. And ask him also to mentor you on interviewing skills and appearance. If there's anything you're doing wrong there, to be blunt with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like
absolutely,
like you need to cut your hair, or you need to get a different suit of clothes, or whatever. Right? I don't know. I have no idea, but I mean, appearance and, just talking to you, you're scared, but you're articulate and intelligent. I don't know why you couldn't carry an interview as far as those skills go. Your interpersonal skills. It doesn't sound like that's killing your interview. I mean, you're not calling me up. You're not calling me up with that kind of a problem, and we know you've got a level of intellect because you don't get through paralegal school if you don't. It's, so, but you would make an excellent personal assistant for an executive, as an example, because you know how to write, like business letters. You've worked on that kind of thing. So that would be an example of something that you could move into. I don't have any magic pills here, but I'm anything from cleaning houses to moving cities to talking to your pastor. Those are the three things that pop into my head to get you something going where you're not just completely scared and overwhelmed and lost hope. Just a little bit of money changes your whole situation really fast. That's the good news. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. As we've been doing this millionaire research, one of the pieces of data that we've discovered is by studying 10,000 millionaires, that the average millionaire drives a 4-year-old car with 41,000 miles on it, and of course it's paid for, and they haven't had car payments in decades, which is how they became a millionaire, because the average car payment now is over $500, about $504 a month over 84 months. If you invest $504 from age 30 to age 70, you'll have somewhere around $5 million in your Roth IRA. I hope you like your car. Our advice, knowing that cars lose 60 to 70% of their value in the first 4 years, is to buy a quality used car unless you have a net worth in excess of $1 million. Then if you want to buy a new car, you can afford to take the loss on it. But the worst car accidents do happen on the showroom floor. Well, Dave, I'm always worried about buying a used car. Well, what are you driving? If you're driving a car that you bought 2 months ago, it's now a used car. If you're driving a car you bought 5 years ago, it's a used car. What are you driving? Listen, the vehicle quality is so high now that we get through 300,000 miles out of a car. Most of these cars run and run and run and run and run if you have to take care of them. So, don't buy a new car unless you've got a net worth in excess of $1 million. Now, how do you negotiate the best deal on your car? Well, the same way you do a lot of things. There's a couple of keys to negotiating. One is he with the most knowledge wins. So study. Learn about that car. Go on Trader.com. Go on Kelley Blue Book and Edmunds.com and look up stuff about the car. Google the car. Read articles about the car. Look at different versions of the car, different packages that are on the car. The luxury package, the standard package, the 2-door, the 4-door, the different engines that are in that particular car. Learn all about a Honda Civic if you're going to buy a Honda Civic. Learn. People impulse a big purchase like a car. That makes you stupid. You don't impulse that. You study that. And then pay cash, of course. Now, most of the time paying cash means that you are doing a bank transfer. But sometimes you can walk in with the cash and just lay it on the table. It's not that much money. I mean, $7,000, $10,000, $15,000, whatever. It kind of blows a dealer's mind, but certainly if you're buying from an individual, when you put cash on the table, it says we have a deal. It doesn't say, oh, I need to check with my banker. You ever sold a car on Craigslist? I need to check with my banker, and then you never hear from them again. I'll take it, but my banker will do it, and never hear from them again. But when you lay cash on the table, there's no, I need to check with my banker in there. It's a done deal, baby. It's locked in, right? And listen, don't get married to one car. Be prepared to walk away. Listen, when you bought something emotionally, even the most inept seller recognizes the body language changes. I mean, you guys know when somebody's bought something, right? Even though they haven't done the deal. The negotiation's over once they know you're married. I'm married. I have to have this car. So just be quiet. Let them talk, the seller, that is. Tell them, you've looked this car up. You've studied a lot. This seems a little high. And then be quiet. Let them talk. You can negotiate online. There's a lot of ways you can do it. You can have the car inspected. And a good thing to do, too, is check with one of our endorsed local providers on the insurance side and find out what it costs to insure that car. You might be looking at one $7,000 car that's almost twice as much to insure as another $7,000 car. So you can get a quote from one of them, or on your existing cars, jump in there and get a quote from the ELP. Most people that get a quote from our ELPs because they're brokers, they shop among a bunch of different people and they get the best possible deal. They save like $700. That's the average. So, and 1 in 3 drivers, 33% of you buy your insurance and you don't shop your insurance before you buy it. That's just dumb. It's an expensive thing, just like not shopping the car before you buy it. That's dumb. Don't do that.